So apparently not aware that the world has new scientific data that maybe we should consider before imposing it on the public. New York City just fired more than 800 teachers and teachers' aides because, can you guess, they refused to get the Rona shot. And it remains true as of tonight that tens of thousands of students in this country still can't get an education unless they've taken the shot or the booster. You may not have known that. Joe Biden should know that. He is the president. But last night he went on 60 Minutes, immediately asked, how long is the show? And then he declared that the pandemic is over.
Is the pandemic over?
The pandemic is over. We still have a problem with COVID. We're still doing a lot of work on it. But the pandemic is over.
Boy, if you're Biden's handlers, never let him do a walk and talk on camera. He looks even older than he is. So you may be wondering, if the pandemic is over, then how do we still have a problem with COVID, as Biden says we did? Well, he went on to explain that COVID is still causing a lot of issues, mostly low poll numbers for him. Watch.
Your approval rating in the country is well below 50%. And I wonder why you think that is.
This is a really difficult time. We're at an inflection point in the history of this country. We're going to make decisions, and we're making decisions now, that are going to determine what we're going to look like in the next 10 years from now. I think you'd agree that the impact on the psyche of the American people as a consequence of the pandemic is profound.
Thomas Massie is one of the smartest members of Congress and also one of the most honest. He represents Kentucky. He's on the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. And that may sound like low praise, a smart and honest member of Congress. There just aren't that many, so we're always glad to see you. What do you make of Biden's interview on COVID?
Look, we've been living under a form of martial law for about 2.5 years now. All of the powers that the president has claimed to himself that emanated or were predicated on the COVID virus, those need to go away today. When I saw him say that yesterday, I suggested that the public health emergency should go away, that all the governors that have these executive powers, that should go away. The vaccine mandates need to go away if the pandemic is over. And finally, one of the most onerous things, the PrEP Act. This basically is what I call medical malpractice martial law. It supersedes all state law, all federal law, and it says unless somebody with intent kills you, with one of their PCR tests or with a treatment or with a vaccine, you have no legal recourse unless they meant to hurt you. It's ridiculous, and this needs to go away. We've even seen hundreds of billions of dollars of student loans. Joe Biden claims he has the power to just reassign that debt to taxpayers because of COVID. Well, if he thinks the pandemic's over, then take away all those powers, repeal them, end it now.
So just to be totally clear on what you just said about current federal law, if my child was required to get a COVID shot in order to go to college, as almost all college students were, and then develops severe heart problems, as so many young people have from these vaccines, we can't sue the college for requiring that?
No, you can't sue the college or the person that gave you the shot or the pharmaceutical company that made the shot. In fact, I have a constituent. She went to get a test at a hospital. They stuck the swab so far up in her nose, they punctured the membrane that holds in the fluid that surrounds your brain. Required surgery to fix. It leaked into her throat, and she went to sue the people that stuck that swab up in her nose. They said, nope, PrEP Act. So it doesn't just cover vaccines, it covers everything. It covers the treatments, the vaccines, and the tests, and anybody giving them. I have a mom who took her 2 kids to get a flu shot last year. They accidentally gave them the adult dose of the COVID vaccine. Again, they say, oh, PrEP Act, you can't sue us. By the way, you gave me credit for being honest. I'm going to have I'm going to commit candor here on TV, which is a crime in D.C. This actually started under President Trump. The PrEP Act was a declaration by his Health and Human Services Secretary.
Well, it's awful. And people should have a legal recourse when they're injured, I think. I mean, call me liberal. I think they should. I mean, what?
Well, Biden has used fear. They've amended the PrEP Act for COVID 12 times now. And they need to end it. Biden has declared the pandemic is over, so we need to take away all of the powers that he's claimed to himself. We don't live in a dictatorship. We live in a republic.
Amen. Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky, a man who's not on TV enough. Great to see you tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.